What's happening, everyone? My name's Anthony Santana, and welcome back to The Letter. In the previous episode, we learned that the mansion that Rose and Isabella have to sell has a pretty dark history with ghosts and suicides and all dark stuff. And yeah, we even had to escape from a zombie-looking ghost. We even had a quick time for that. That was pretty interesting. Never seen that before in a visual novel, but pretty sure there were more like that before, I just haven't played them. Let's just get right into the game. A buzz breaks the silence. I start to rouse, pulled into consciousness against my own will. I have never felt this tired before. I just want to sleep, but the insistent buzzing, poking, and prodding isn't letting me. Yeah, that's probably Rose trying to wake you up, Isabella. My old mattress may not be the comfiest of places, but that doesn't make me any more eager to wake up.
5 more minutes, Becca.
No. Now's not the time. I swat away at what is nudging persistently at my side. Can't I just get a few extra minutes of sleep today? I promise I'll work hard once I'm up. A hand lightly taps my cheek, and something cold is suddenly being pressed at the back of my head. Probably ice. The icy sensation slowly spreads throughout the area, giving me an uncomfortable feeling.
Isabella? Isabella? Gosh, can you hear me? Isabella?
The fog of unconsciousness immediately lifts from my mind, the moment I recognize the voice and my eyes snap open. There, looking down at me is Rose, and who is that green-haired beauty? Another woman loiters beside her, but my attention is too focused on my co-agent to even ask why there's someone else with her. Rose's posture just screams worry, although she is keeping a straight face, or trying at least. I can't help but feel bad for making her fret. A wave of dizziness washes over me as soon as I try to get up, forcing me to lie back down again. Luckily, it subsides after a few seconds, until only a mild throbbing somewhere at the back of my head remains. With little assistance from Rose, I push myself upright. She hands me an ice pack and gestures for me to press it where I suspect a small bump has already formed, if the light ache in the area is any indication.
Alright, Isabella, where are we?
The Ermengarde mansion. Why?
Gotta test your memory, girl. You're knocked out. They find you knocked out. What else do they have?
Ow, my head.
And the date today?
October 21st? Rose.
Last one. Can you count to 15 in reverse order?
Oh wait, Rose is the green-haired girl. Oh damn, I thought Rose was... I clearly did not pay attention to the phone.
15, 14, 13, 12 teen... No, that's wrong.
Good job, Isabella. You do not know basic math. Unless that's just the bump on your head.
Why are we doing this?
She's just checking to see if your injury is in any way serious.
Okay. This time I curiously regard the woman standing beside Rose. It's impossible to overlook her, what with the way she towers over us. And here I thought Rose is already tall. Who is she anyway? One of the remaining cleaning crews? Nah, she looks more like a detective woman. But with how primly dressed she is, I don't think anyone will want to clean in a suit, an expensive suit at that. The gloves alone must have already cost a fortune. Her eyes slowly shift between me and Rose, considering us with an almost unreadable expression, before finally fixing a sharp gaze on me. I can't help but fold my arms protectively over myself as she does so. She may be far from a cleaning crew, but she certainly looks like my supervisor during evaluation days. What, arms crossed, looking sternly at you?
Just do it, please.
I eye them both warily, but recite everything as she asked. Rose releases a breath of relief once I'm done.
You scared me for a moment there. I was about to call for an ambulance when you started stirring.
Oh, stirring? Wow.
Are you alright?
Exasperation soon replaces the dull ache. The memory's a little fuzzy, but the attic, and...
There was someone, Rose. In the attic.
Hopefully they believe you, but doubt they would.
Someone? You mean a client? Oh, that's unlikely. It's probably just one of the cleaning crews.
No, definitely wasn't.
The boss sent a few of them back this morning for some last minute.
No, not any of those. They're, I'm not actually sure. Wait, didn't I call you? You said you were in the attic when you answered. That's why I went there in the first place.
Uh-oh. Something's going on. But we already knew that. Both Rose and the lady look at me like I've just grown another head. Did I say something weird? Let me guess. You did not get a phone call. Rose casts an apologetic smile at the woman beside her before the awkward silence stretches on further. It's her saleswoman smile, the same one she taught me back when I was still her trainee. Ah, so this other woman is a potential buyer then. I should show this to troublesome clients or just to avoid trouble in general, she advised. It's also the one she gave me when I've done something particularly absurd that may cause us to lose a potential sale. Her eyes are serious when she turns back to me. She takes both of my shoulders, gently squeezes it, and, with as much patience she can muster.
As much as I'd love to have gotten at least a heads up of your arrival, I didn't really get a call from you. You know, signal here is absolutely horrendous. I was in the garden earlier and couldn't even make a single call.
Well, that explains.
Isabella, I'm going to ask again. Are you really alright? What happened?
I don't know. It's all a bit blurry. I remember I was looking for you, but you weren't in the attic. And there's whoever it is. Then I must have tripped on a rug or something on the way down. Oh no. Do you think someone came in while you were out? You left the main door open.
Uh-oh.
We are so going to get into big trouble if something gets stolen, Rose.
Perhaps it is a concussion.
Oh, she's skeptical as well.
Are you sure you feel fine? We could still call for an ambulance. I could cover for you.
No, I'm fine. I'm okay, Rose. I can work.
Wait. Hold your horses, Rose. I can't just miss an important sale because of a minor bump in the head. Yeah, I mean, how else is she gonna get money? An extremely minor bump. I've had worse when I was a kid. This is nothing.
Besides, if I leave, you'll have to shoulder everything in the open house, alone. And in a mansion this big?
Well, there's also the part where I may lose that bonus BRC promise. But that's completely beside the point. Sure. Rose gives me a skeptical look when I return the cold compress to her and push myself off the floor. I have to use the staircase's railings to steady myself, but otherwise I feel fine.
See? I'm A-okay.
The two of them exchange a worried glance and Rose assumes a contemplative look. I bite my lower lip in anticipation. If she says no...
Alright, you in.
Oh, well that was easy. The smile threatens to slip out from me.
If I see that you aren't feeling well, I'm taking you personally to the nearest clinic to have you checked. Clear?
Clear as day, ma'am. Thanks, Rose.
You insisted. But remember what I said. First sign of you looking not okay, and we're off. No questions asked.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just a small bump. Don't worry.
You shouldn't downplay these kinds of things. It could be a serious injury for all we know.
Suddenly, a small cough sounds against the walls of the foyer, interrupting our banter. And real quick, let's look at the journal, because that new is bugging me. Okay, so... Okay, if you want to read any of this, you can go on ahead and pause. Okay, so that's the timeline. Let's just see the profiles. Characters, Isabella's new. I think I've already showed this, actually, but for some strange reason it's telling me it's not. It's new. Let's look at the relationships real quick. We've got Rebecca here, who's gone up. Yeah, we've seen this already. At least I think I have. Alright. The woman is looking expectantly at the two of us, her stare making me shrink back a little on myself. She isn't really intimidating. Well, she is. Yeah, she looks just a little bit. But not in the scary negative way. Nah, far from that. Okay, thanks for also saying that in your head. Far from it, actually. Her demeanor simply commands an air of sophistication and respect. In a different world, a younger me would have probably wished to be like her. Why wait? She coughs again, lifting a well-trimmed eyebrow at me in question. Words get caught in my tongue, and Rose, as usual, is swift to catch my own blunders.
My sincerest apologies, Mrs.
Miss McCulloch. Marianne McCulloch.
Miss, eh? I'll take your business card and private or personal phone number, please. But McCulloch, that's a name. Oh, well, thanks for the card. She hands Rose her business card. Please do write your phone number in the back, though. Besides your work number. Marianne McCulloch. Trelly Rose Designs, interior designer. Okay. The words interior designer catch my eyes before my partner flips it over. Oh, probably somebody interested in the mansion for its 17th century influences then. I won't hold it against her, though. Well, looks can be deceiving. She could be a multimillionaire looking to buy real estate. Despite the heresies and remaining uninhabited for years... What? Wait. Despite the heresies and remaining uninhabited for years, the mansion's original fittings and furniture have been kept completely intact and restored to pristine condition. I suppose some people find that trip to the past feeling appealing. After all, with what it offers, this place is a definite haven for people looking to live somewhere with a classic historical charm. And I just noticed in the background, the window, it's a lot brighter than it was earlier. Or maybe that's just me. No, yeah, it does go bright and dim. Wonder why.
Miss McCulloch, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We're just ironing out a few things, but we'll be starting the tour soon enough.
Let me interrupt you real quick, Rose. It's McCulloch. McCulloch. You gotta add that at the end. Alright, now that we have that clear, let's move on.
In the meantime, we've prepared some refreshments for you in the parlor while you're waiting. If you could please.
Thanks. There's no need for it, though. I just stopped by for a quick survey of the place.
Oh. So, is she not gonna buy it?
I thought I should check the estate before I meet with the homeowners.
Ah, okay, that explains. The confused look on Rose's face is impossible to miss when she glances at me. I return it with an equally perplexed look. And, against my better judgment, I blurt out the first question that comes to mind.
I'm sorry. Homeowners?
I should have kept my mouth shut. A flash of irritation crosses her face, but it instantly disappears under a mask of professional detachment.
Yes. Hannah Wright? I was hired by her to handle the interior design for their newly bought home.
Oh. Oh. So the home's been sold.
This is the Ermengarde mansion, right?
Yes.
It is, but...
She pauses, possibly trying to find the right words to fix the awkward situation without offending someone. Rose nudges me with her elbow. We'll check with our supervisor, because I don't know is definitely not professional. Those few moments have given me enough time to clear my head of any nervousness or confusion clouding it. What, did that do anything? Oh. Okay. For some strange reason our relationship with Marianne just went up.
It is, ma'am, but we weren't aware the mansion has already been sold.
What do you mean?
I almost flinch when she turns her gaze on me, but I stand my ground. Besides, it isn't like I haven't dealt with awkward situations like this before. I'm sure you have dealt with many. I may screw up at times, but that doesn't mean I haven't learned a thing or two in the 5 years I've worked in the business.
The mansion is indeed for sale, ma'am. Today's the open house, in fact. However, we haven't heard anything from the higher-ups that a deal has already been closed for this particular property. If you'd like, my co-agent and me can check with them right now.
She nods, seemingly in deep thought after I finished. She appears to be a reasonable person anyway. Given the proper explanation, she'll likely understand. I think I might know. Okay, so maybe somebody who's going to the open house has already pretty much said they'll pay anything for the mansion, and has already decided to jump the gun and hire Miss McCulloch to survey the place in advance before the property has been bought.
I thought something looked odd when I arrived here. Excuse me, I think I need to make a call to my secretary. Thank you for your assistance, Miss Santos.
With a slight wave of her hand, she leaves us, presumably to double-check with someone on her side. That seems to be the end of it. Both Rose and I breathe a sigh of relief. Disaster averted, yes. I also don't miss the thumbs up she gives me for doing a good job, and I can't help but swell with pride. Still, I've already prepared myself to dial the number to our Luxburn office, and check, even if she didn't ask for it. I'll be very frustrated if for some reason an agreement has already been decided without my or Rose's acknowledgement. Honestly, if I was in the real estate business myself and that happened, I would be as well. That's a whole new level of unfair. We've been working hard on this. Moments later, Miss McCulloch returns, looking a little frustrated but an apology clear in her face. I feel a little sorry for her having to go through all this trouble.
There seems to have been a little misunderstanding with my client. If you'll allow it, I'd like to stay and wait for them here. I was informed they'll be dropping by for the open house today. I figured it'd be a waste to just leave after that long drive. I might as well meet him here.
Yeah, might as well.
Certainly. You could stay at the parlor in the meantime, ma'am. I'm sure it won't be long before our guests arrive. And, Isabella? I left a few documents in my car. You know where I keep those. Can you please get it for me?
Rose takes a glance at her wristwatch before tossing me a set of keys.
And hurry! We've still got a few minutes to double check those papers.
Okay, got it. Give me a few minutes.
The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. New journal entry. Is there a new journal entry? Oh wait, it says next right there. Oh, okay, there is a new journal entry. Alright, so that's information from Marianne McCulloch. If you want to read that, of course, you can look at that yourself. The two of them disappear behind the parlor's door. Their departure brings with it a hushed stillness to keep me company, neither comforting nor soothing. This alone, it's impossible not to think of what truly happened earlier. I wish the memory isn't as elusive as it normally is. Then again, Rose already said she didn't receive any call from me. Was it just my paranoia at work? A temporary lapse in my own mind after having heard all those tales about this place? Probably. I want to think of it as such. Better to think of it as such so I can work in peace. And actually, the music is a bit low. I think I may have turned that down before starting the series, and it is rather low. Okay, so work in peace. Except a small part of my mind begs to differ. And if I'm going to be completely honest with myself, I want nothing more than to leave this place as soon as possible. I don't know what's in this house, and I don't want to know. The keys Rose has just handed me dig into my palm, its jagged edges creating shallow ridges on my skin from how hard I am clutching it. It's a cursory reminder of what I still need to do and why I've taken this job in the first place. Hugging my blazer closer to my body, I exit the house to get what Rose has asked of me. Just a few more hours, Isabella. Sell the house, get the money. Run like hell. A flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed, standing in their presence. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby, like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They are murmuring amongst themselves, looking at the estate's facade praisingly. Or is that facade? With some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Huh. Okay, so is the ground floor and the upper floor... Is that how it's counted in, like, England, where I'm assuming this is where it's taking place, even though I don't know where Luxburn is, if that's a real place? Because that's strange. Ground floor is usually the first floor here in America. Hearing this, a few wander toward me. They are mostly ladies, old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Well, I can't blame them. Miss McCulloch also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches. And that's her clients.
It's so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
Oh, you know each other?
Uh-oh, little bit of drama. I'm kidding.
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. I might have seen their faces somewhere before. Some magazine or television, I can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news, one way or another. I won't be surprised if these two have as well. For people who are popular though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity the couple stands out. The woman in particular is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind though. And if I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'll say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. Peas in a pod. I'll think they are brother and sister if it isn't for their public display of affection. The matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. My only... I can't read what that third word says on the ring. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed, before the current owners can even think of canceling the listing agreement. I just hope one of the people in my or Rose's group is brave enough and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. I'll just look at the journal real quick, just to see what's new. Open house. Okay, that's pretty much it. When they aren't whispering amongst themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answer them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly. However, I am careful not to mention anything about the urban legend. I'm sure most of those people already know. Not good material for sales talk, if the entire population of Luxburg knows about it.
Some of the furnishings here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass... thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but you get the idea, I hope.
Stained glass?
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde. The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
I mean, yeah, that stained glass in the back sure does look great. It lets in a lot of sunlight as well. By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere. Of course.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, besides the fact of what he just said, his name is Mr. in Grey. I didn't even notice if the woman had a name.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Okay, so it's Lovely Lady.
It is splendid, ma'am.
Story updated? What?
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything. Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
Miss McCulloch, I hope you do charge them even if they don't get the mansion. Especially if they don't get the mansion. The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our other companions. I don't want to make any assumptions yet, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, please, please let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put into retaining the room's classical appeal. The open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I only see in fairy tale books before. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this'll be, they still managed to pull this off. Well, it is their job if they're hired to do that. But good job for them for doing it so well. Or make it look presentable at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, what is underneath the hatch?
Oh, don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
He might have just guessed it. This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard, since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in the place. Well, he fancies some aged wine. But this time, something lights up in his eyes at the mention of the Undercroft. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has just seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. I've always found it cute whenever I see children act that way, my younger siblings especially. On a grown man? It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Damn!
Truly. And the room, how was it built?
Well, he certainly is showing interest. Keep giving him information, girl. Then you'll have a sale.
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room.
Nice.
It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough? Yeah, I think this mansion, this property, real estate, it's definitely more than enough.
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
More than plenty of room.
We were told that the original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
There's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! I can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Funny, the first time we surveyed the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just my excitement over a prospective sale. When we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. Uh-oh. Starting to hear whispers in the background. Starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear, and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look to see what it is. A chill that settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break into a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
I let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. I probably just caught Rebecca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Until a hand taps my shoulder. Well, it seems to have snapped her out of it.
Hello, you there?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Okay, she's showing a bit of interest in Isabella. Okay,
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
hopefully they become friends.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
Already first name bases. They're definitely gonna be friends.
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
Oh jeez. They're really what's the word? Optimistic about buying the property. My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is she being serious? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further, putting a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
Alright.
And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who'll probably just fill it up with cats.
In a sense, I agree.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
And by my comment, I am completely a cat person, but I just don't like them inside the house. I prefer cats over dogs, but not inside the house. Just to clarify that. Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? Nothing! More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
Ah.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
A multi-million-dollar gift? Wow. You know, it's better if both couples agree before spending this much money.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Done.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
That's gotta be Mr. Right, right?
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I struggle not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulders. Ow! I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCulloch, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh no. The letter's gonna be in there. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Ma'am Hana? It's Isabella. With an at the end.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and... What's this?
No, the letter was in there! Oh no! A look of confusion and disgust is apparent on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh, she is creeped out.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this?
Chainmail?
Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month. You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything earlier. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Well, at least they're trying to ignore it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her lips when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright? You're looking pale.
I didn't even notice when Rose, as well as the other group touring the mansion, joins us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I am not alright. I want to leave this place, because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter, and that woman in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Does not show the letter.
Rose,
Our relationship changed. With Marianne it went up. Okay, good. That's fine. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her, I really do. Now, there's an ambulance passing by the house. I'm not sure if the microphone will pick it up. Yep, it's approaching. Hopefully it doesn't pick it up, but I'll just continue either way. But is she going to believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. It's a concussion, she said. It's not. There really is something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please, believe me.
Dear me, is Isabella alright?
Oh, far from it. Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her face, on her features. I don't even notice when she has removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and pushed me down to sit on a nearby chair. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCulloch asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene than help. Thank you! They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. To everyone, whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. At least drink. I mean, maybe you might choke in fear, so, okay, I understand. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion. Clear my head, hiccup. Clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me, I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Now, Rose still has that paper, doesn't she? She took it from Isabella's hands. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behavior like this. I'm almost at the door of the parlor when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day.
Yeah. Don't stress about it, Isabella.
And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. Hopefully you can. But I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly, and we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this.
But telling them that this mansion is haunted is not part of those plans.
I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this. I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery.
Well, if this mansion gets sold, you'll definitely win the lottery. Or be close to it.
But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
Yeah, please don't send Isabella home.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
Well, not like that.
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
Do it, Isabella. Just sit on the side. She clasped her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, good girl. To some extent. Oh, come on. That doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful, that is true. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn of the situation that has taken over, or, wait, what? Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Oh, tempting.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Thanks, Rose.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
Well, do we have a gamer boss working in that realty? At the memory, she dissolves into helpless giggles, which I also join in, earning us strange looks from the other guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Good girl.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
Isabella. That's not what she was trying to say.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, alright? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Okay. She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. A few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways opposite of me, is occupied in a friendly banter about which one will cost more to buy. A little argument here, and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help. Speaking of, I should call Ash. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's a few hours early from what I've told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. But you're not going to get reception there. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. You do have a ride back. Rose offered. Just why? Or bribe him into giving me one. Good job. Not that he'll accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too. Okay, good, she remembers. But despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and...
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Bad guys watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Bad guys watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
How loud is this thing even?
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe
A
City.
sharp ringing fills the
Bad guys
entire
watch
hall,
out,
disrupting the
can't beat me.
pleasant quiet
Looking for trouble?
that has
Better
settled.
not lie.
Soon
I'm a
enough,
cool dude,
heads begin to
pretty
turn in
fly
search
for
of
an
the
Asian
source,
guy.
mine included.
Sup, I'm
He's
Ash from
there.
Deluxe City.
My
Bad guys
eyes dart
watch out,
around the small
can't beat
crowd
me.
before
Looking for
zeroing in
trouble?
on a lone
Better
figure
not
crouched
lie.
behind
I'm a
the
cool
same
dude,
group of
pretty
old people,
fly for an
checking
Asian
out the
guy.
decor moments
Sup,
ago.
I'm Ash from Deluxe
He is
City.
facing away
Bad guys
from me,
watch out,
fumbling with
can't
something
beat
in
me.
his hands.
Looking for trouble?
But I
Better
don't...
not lie.
for fuck's
I'm a
sakes.
cool dude,
Where
pretty
the
fly
fuck is
for
this
an
sound?
Asian guy.
Turn it
Sup, I'm
all off. Turn it all off. Oh, I'll recognize that dumb parka anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I marched towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to...
Yeah. Good job.
Ashton Frey!
And now I can turn back up the sounds. Let's do it. Come on, come on. There we go. Like that. What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. You punch him in the face, slap him in the cheek, I don't know, dropkick him?
Ah!
He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it before ultimately falling flat on the ground with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. More importantly, the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha. An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then in a too quick motion he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing is not a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'll find that adorable. endearing, and even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his normally collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Wow, you really are an ashhole.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
Well, way to say that out loud. For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly, checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
And he said it out loud. He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something earlier than expected, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. At my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
You could still do it anyway.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client at least.
Fair enough.
We have a mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy, God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend, except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you a detailed explanation of why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst. He's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you at every single chance he'll get. Ashhole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. He might have a thing for you. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw in the attic. I mean, I'm in a sense, my character is similar to his. I'm like him, and that's why I know he likes Isabella. Or maybe I'm just being weird. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter still clasped in my hand deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
And she's out the door. A rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. Those sound more like high heels, not men's shoes. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Yeah, time to nope the fuck out of there. I don't look back. We spend the ride back to Luxburn City in a relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background filling the silence. Occasionally, Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way is a sign, hiccup, I know there's something he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside, in the small hope that my feigned disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it, the small package making a soft landing on my lap instead. Oh, so he tossed it at you.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face, and he clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road again. I swear he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my lap to check.
I won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
Why not? If you're on the go, you gotta have some food in the car. I mean, as long as the food is not like out in the open air or anything. It's gotta be packaged, of course.
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there.
Good job, Ash.
Have you eaten lunch yet?
And there's the answer. I don't even get a chance to deny it because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, and an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. Ay, 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 girl. Also, I just noticed that coffee shop on the side is Zarbucks. Nice play on words there. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feeling's new to me, though. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to, ignoring over the years growing up. Thanks. Then I tear open the package and start nibbling at the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after the small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not going to nag at you.
How'd the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
Typical.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
Or you could have done it yourself if you knew he was there.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine.
Ah.
She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
Damn, he really pays attention to her.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca.
Ah.
Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out. Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
Damn, she just got schooled. He's not entirely wrong. No, he's definitely not wrong. God damn it, can the guy beeping take another lane? Oh man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right now.
His answer is a small laughter, the kind that screams, "I'm right, I told you so." I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I didn't botch it with the rights. True. Why of all times did I have to screw up like that? In front of an important customer, no less. I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free donuts.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Ay, 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 Isabella.
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold. My own heartbeat, a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
Nah, more or less.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the rights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Let's change the subject. No need to lie.
You keep asking me about my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
Let's see how our relationship with him has gone. It's gone up. Okay.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. Good. I chose the right choice then. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it or because he's just really very good at his job. Wow, talk about the adverb use there. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting a vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
I'd like to know what memes he sent her.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Nah.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
That earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them, but I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger. Stupid Ash.
Alright. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing at the time we haven't seen each other. And you know, on that little pause that just happened there, I paid a lot of attention to the music in the background. It's definitely music that I've heard before. Let me put that all the way up and put the sound effects down so we don't hear the beeping. It's probably not enough, is it? Alright, well it's that generic, well, not really generic, but like royalty-free elevator music, I guess. He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down version, only things he can tell. He has always been careful about that. Yeah, he kinda has to. Even in the way he spins his answers to my questions, he just isn't enough to satisfy my curiosity, but enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it too much. That's normal, right? I mean, who won't be frustrated if you can't bring someone you're chasing to justice because they keep slipping out of your fingers? If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never ceases to be entertaining to me regardless. If things weren't the way they are back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, nope, not really. Mama will never allow that. But the idea is still there. Along with countless others I've let go. Sad but true. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. And this is where I'm going to end it because I've been trying to find a place to cut the video for like the past 20 minutes. But finally we reach a new setting, and it's the perfect place to just end the episode. So this is going to be a long episode, of course. Next episode is probably going to be long as well, so is the following, because I've heard this is a very long game. So in order to get through it quickly, I'm going to have to make longer videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. And before I do anything stupid, let me just save it. Overwrite that one. Either way, I'm saving it all on... Oh, slot 10, that was the one. There. Crap, I just erased my previous save file now. Anyways, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time. Take care.